I'm Jessica Tenuta, and I'm the co-founder and chief product officer of Packback. I know we're all here at GSV today because we want to revolutionize education for every student. And many of us are up here talking about some of the same problems: increasing course sizes, increasing costs of education, reductions in support for professors, like fewer TAs to help manage those larger classes, student engagement, and educational outcomes after they graduate. But one of the unfortunate things about this less than ideal educational economy is that the critical act of discussion is oftentimes one of the first things that's removed from large classes because it's so incredibly difficult to manage. However, we've seen that the research shows that students who engage in online discussion or in-class discussion when well implemented have better knowledge retention and develop their critical thinking skills. So what if the way to move education forward was to look backward for inspiration, way back, all the way back to the Socratic method? And that's exactly what Packback is doing. We've taken recent advances in AI and modern responsive web technology to help make inquiry-driven education more accessible, affordable, and scalable for large classes. Packback is an AI-supported online discussion platform that improves student critical thinking skills, curiosity, and writing through the use of algorithmic coaching. And here's one of our professors, Dr. Jose Vasquez, who teaches an enormous economics course at the University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana, talking about his experience. He says, in essence, Packback finally allowed me to do what I've effectively failed to do for almost 10 years of teaching: scale the Socratic style of teaching to large lecture halls. So in a nutshell, Packback does two things, which I'll go into a little bit more detail on next. We help inspire student curiosity and intrinsic engagement by using discussion as a medium for students to ask questions and own their learning experience, all the while helping to reduce the manual time and effort that professors and TAs have to put into managing that online discussion, which can be very tedious. If anyone's ever used online discussion platforms before, you know it's a challenge to moderate, a challenge to manage, and very, very difficult to realize the kind of reasons that you actually implemented discussion into your class in the first place, like that valuable student-driven inquiry. So we do three things to help make this possible. We deliver automated coaching while students are typing their questions and responses to help them achieve higher levels of Bloom's taxonomy of cognition. So we give them feedback immediately while they type to help improve the chance that they're going to post a question that's going to result in valuable discussion for their classmates. After they submit their post, it's actually checked against a more robust set of back-end algorithms, we call our AI, that help to flag posts that may violate community guidelines that wouldn't lead to a valuable discussion for their peers, because it's a social environment. What students post results in what the experience the other classmates have on the platform will be. If we find violations like closed-ended question that would lead to less valuable ongoing discussion, our system will automatically flag that, take that off the platform temporarily, give the students robust feedback by email, and give them multiple chances to edit and republish their post until they meet the standards, which meet students where they are today. And finally, we give professors superpowers to help them better use their time in meaningful ways, like giving them things that help them identify top quality content to bring into their classroom, help them sort the feed of questions to extract insights about what the students care about or are struggling with. And all of that results in them being able to use their time in meaningful ways instead of manual ones. So this is all about empowering professors to teach as opposed to manually moderated discussion. And that's led to over 83,000 hours saved, assuming it would take a professor 1 minute per post on average on Packback to grade those posts manually, which, to put that in context, would lead to an individual spending 39 years of their life doing nothing but grading posts manually. So you can imagine that feedback would not be instant if it was done manually. However, it is on Packback. And we've had about 250,000 students use Packback to date, so we feel very confident saying this can scale. You might think that all those time savings would lead to less valuable educational outcomes for students, but we've seen exactly the opposite. Students are reporting improvements to their confidence in their writing skills, their confidence formulating open-ended questions, and even their perception of how much their professor cares about their educational outcomes by using a platform like Packback. And we have several ongoing academic studies, some that have already been published and presented, and some that are still in the process of being studied, that have confirmed these findings. And I wanted to highlight one in particular by Dr. Kathleen West, who just presented her findings at NITOP about her comparison of Packback versus the LMS discussion platform. So I'll let her tell her story.
Using Packback several semesters ago when I realized that typical discussion boards, traditional discussion boards, are absolutely unmanageable for me. I spent more time policing the discussion board itself than actually teaching my students and having them get anything meaningful out of it. I was pleasantly surprised when I started using Packback at just how well my students did, how easy it was for all of us to navigate through the system, and how much they were actually gaining out of it in terms of skills like critical thinking and the ability to speak within their discipline. And I've been pleasantly surprised also at just how well they do, not just within the Packback discussion, but taking those skills into the classroom with their writing assignments and writing even on exams.
So we're thrilled that the passion that our users have for the product has manifested in our growth rate. We've seen a 248% year-over-year revenue growth from last year to this year. And we really also credit that to being a purpose-driven organization. We've seen the growth at our top campuses, some of which have up to 20% of the user base using Packback. And our whole goal at Packback is to awaken and fuel the lifelong curiosity in every student. Our team cares about this, and our professors who use Packback care about this. You can learn more about Packback at packback.co/GSV, or come talk to me after. We're so grateful to be here. Thank you so much for having me. We're Packback.